talking with David Osmond, who is our 2011 Artist of the Year at Stereofame.com.
Dude, that's crazy. That's awesome.
Talk a little bit about what it was like growing up in such a musical family.
Yeah, it was, you know, as a kid, you don't know any different, you know. My dad was the leader of the group of the Osmond clan, and one of the main songwriters and producer of the Donnie and Marie show. And so growing up in that atmosphere of record studios and television studios and everything else, it was cool. But as a kid, you just think every kid's dad does that. You don't know any different, right? But an education of a lifetime, and I've been able to see how the industry has impacted my family, but also evolved over the years. It's been a fun family to grow up in. I'm very, very humbled by it, and very appreciative for the legacy that they've created as a family.
The last time that you and I spoke was back in June when you won Artist of the Month. At that point, you had just released your debut solo album, and I want you to talk a little bit about that and about some of the music and what inspired you to write some of the songs on that album.
The album's called Reflected, and I was able to work with some great people on it. And that particular one, I worked with a producer, his name's Mike Krampus, and we really connected well, having met through actually my buddy David Archuleta, as he was working on his record. I'd gone a few years where I wasn't able to, physically. I wasn't able to be on stage, to sing anymore, to play my guitar, and was diagnosed with something called multiple sclerosis, where I was to the point of paralysis. And through miraculous events, truly, I'm able to be back on my feet. I still have MS, but as my dad says, MS does not have me. And having gone through that experience, as I'm starting to write music again and perform, that joy of life and appreciation, it flows through me. And as I write that record, it definitely comes across as a record of just that appreciation of life. And there's a lot of messages on that record that are very near and dear to my heart. So far I've been getting some great reception on Stereofame from others who've listened to it, and I'm in discussions with a couple other labels right now to mass distribute the record, and hopefully this next year it will be able to be in stores. There's a latest record that came out in August of 2010. It's called Road Less Traveled. One disc is strictly of some of my favorite hymns that I grew up as a Christian singing in church and whatnot, and we were able to do a different take on it together. And then there's a whole nother disc that was pretty much all original songs that Aaron and I were able to write together. It's got some great messages that are very contemporary and I think most people can relate to, so I hope people enjoy that. There is a song I did want to cover though on that record. It was a song my dad wrote back in the 70s. And this song was a part of that, and I wanted to do my take of that version, my version of that song. And it was a very cool moment because I was able to bring my dad back into the studio and record that song with me. I got to know Stereofame over the summer of 2010. A friend of mine turned me on to it, suggested I check it out. And it was a very cool, unique platform that I'd never seen online at all before, where they associated this gaming aspect, which we all love, with music in the music industry, kind of like a fantasy football, but for the music industry. I thought it was a very cool, fresh approach to it. And nowadays, especially with the social media that we have out there, and everyone's on Twitter and Facebook, it's how we communicate. As artists, we need those mediums to be able to reach audiences and to distribute our music to the masses. Stereofame is a definite shoe-in, a win-win for artists to be able to get on the web, to have a presence, have your own page, and be able to distribute your music and talk about you as an individual and who you are. And I just dug it. It was great, and was thrilled to be chosen as the Artist of the Month for June. And this is a huge surprise and a tremendous honor to be elected the Artist of the Year for you guys. It's just awesome. But I'll tell you, if anyone's out there as an artist or a musician and they have your band, to get noticed, there's a lot of platforms online, but you've got to be on Stereofame. It's a very cool, unique approach that is definitely making waves. So it's an honor for me to be here.
Coming up from such a family that was so deeply involved in music, did you find that you were kind of more pushed towards that direction, or was it more the opposite? Was it something where, you know, they almost cautioned you against going into it?
I perform with my brothers. I'm one of 8 boys, and I was number 4. So me and my 3 older brothers had a quartet when I was just 2 years old. And my dad used to always call us his retirement program. as a joke. Quite honestly, he couldn't keep us off the stage. It was something that we loved with a passion because we grew up around it so much. We used to watch the old videos of my dad from the Andy Williams shows back in the 60s and other Osmond specials, and we'd be obsessed with watching it and learning it and singing along with it, and eventually start harmonizing on our very own accord. And my dad saw the bug. He saw the interest and the love of music. And as we started to perform and learn these little routines as a kid, my dad knew that if we were going to be serious about this, that we were going to do it the right way. And we worked our tails off. He worked us hard. He did the same thing with his brothers. He was the leader of the group and wanted to, he wanted to raise us pretty much the same way. He did caution us. He warned us about the pitfalls and the issues that can come with this industry. And it is a business, and it's an awesome, awesome business to be in. But it has its ups and downs. And music can do just that, especially when you're dealing with careers. One day, you can be on top of the world, and the next day, it can be tough. And again, just to reiterate the point, having grown up in the industry and seeing how it has evolved so much, the industry is different than it was even 5 years ago. And as we become more of a social world, and we're just connected through devices, and it's at our fingertips, we need platforms like Stereofame to broadcast ourselves. And you can record an album now out of your closet if you want with the technology, and you can get your music out there, and Stereofame's a great medium to do so. So thank you for making that available to me and my music, and I hope people enjoy it.